The Asari go through 3 different stages. The first one is the maiden stage. This begins at birth and is basically the stage where, like, the youth, the like teens, I guess, and early adulthood. It's the stage where the Asari is most curious and most adventurous. They want to explore the galaxy and experience everything. Then is the matron stage. This begins around 350 years of age. This is usually the stage where the Asari wants to, like, settle down. They want to start a family, have kids. And finally, the third stage is the matriarch stage. This begins around 700 years of age. It says that individuals meld rarely. I remember what I said what melding was, is joining with a partner. At the matron stage, they meld frequently because they want a family. And at the matriarch stage, they meld rarely. This is when they become like an active member of their community. They become counselors, giving their wisdom or their experience to others. So they pretty much give their knowledge and their guidance because of their experience. The Asari could reach these stages at different points. It all depends on the Asari's maturity. Some mature faster, some mature slower. So it all depends on the way that how ready they are, how ready they feel. And sometimes these stages don't define the Asari. There are matrons that don't want to have kids. They don't want to have a family. The only thing that defines them as being a matron is their age. And there are some matriarchs that don't want to get into the community service. They don't want to give their guidance. And there's some maidens that just don't want to explore. They don't want to go adventuring. They just want to settle down. So it all depends on the Asari. So since the Asari live for so long, they have what's called a long view. And what that means is they look ahead. They're very patient because they're used to, living for such a long time, that patience isn't really an issue. So when they're trying to decide on something, they're trying to come to terms with something, or they're trying to come up with a decision for a certain situation, they usually take a long time to decide on it because they want to know everything about it. They want to be sure about it. They want to make sure that they're doing the right decision. So they have a long view. They look ahead, and they also think for a very long time. So when they make a decision, sometimes it might seem to other races like what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. But in the long run, it's a very smart decision. They're also very diverse. And by that I mean that they usually don't have any problem with other races. They do try to spread their influence through their cultural domination and their intellectual superiority, but they don't see races as being less. They do see themselves as being more experienced because they are, but they don't see other races as less than them. Pretty much because their biology is so diverse, they could mate with any race. So they really don't care about the races when it comes to suppressing one. They're also very used to living within a community, like together. If they had to choose from living in a starship, a lot of them together, or something else where they would be separated, they would choose to live in a starship because they prefer that communal environment, and not just within themselves, but in a group, any group that they're part of. They're a very social race. The Asari religion, it's been different in the years. In the past, it was something different, and now, or in the present, it's they're pantheistic. And what that means is kind of like where you see God is in everything. Like the universe is God, or nature is God. Everything is God. We are. They worship consciousness. It's like everything, the universe is a consciousness, which interprets to the pantheistic beliefs, which is the universe is God. But they believe in the consciousness. So when someone dies, when an Asari dies, they believe that their consciousness melds into the consciousness of the universe. This is called Asari, the religion. Before this, like I said, in the past, there was different religions. They worshiped different things. There wasn't like a mainstream religion, but the strongest one was a monotheistic one where you worship just one god, and that was the worshipping of the goddess, a thame. It's either a thame or a thame, I don't know. That's why a lot of Asari say by the goddess, or they just say goddess. This is who they're referring to. But the Asari that you say this, that say by the goddess or mention the goddess, it doesn't always mean that they still believe in this religion, in this specific religion. It's just kind of like a cultural thing. You know how even people that don't believe in God sometimes say, oh my God. It's kind of like that. The Asari government is pretty interesting because they don't really have like a structured government, a structured main government. They have like different republics, different Asari republics. I guess you could compare this to ancient Mediterranean city-states, kind of like the Greek city-states. And the reason why is because the Asari culturally value consensus, coming into agreement with each other, and accommodating each other, so that there won't be disagreements and stuff. So because of this, they didn't see a reason to create an overpowering government. Like, for example, when it came to resources, some people go to war for resources. The Asari would barter freely. They would trade with each other freely. Rather than attacking each other for different philosophies, they sought to understand each other. Later, after this, after technology evolved a little more, they started to really communicate through the extranet, like digital communication, which they now call electronic democracy. Besides the council representative, the Asari have no politicians or elections. They have instead of this, they have like an all-inclusive legislature that citizens can participate in. They don't place certain Asaris in political figures, like as political figures, where they're the leaders. And the matriarchs, they're not the leaders. They just really respect matriarchs because of their wisdom. This is pretty interesting. Policy debates take place at all hours of the day in official chat rooms and forums moderated by specially programmed virtual intelligences. So even though they do have these debates, if there's a matriarch in the circle, they really respect, and they really hold the matriarch's opinions highly, more than others, just because they're matriarchs. They're highly respected, and they know that they've been through so much, so they really take what matriarchs say into consideration. The Asari military, like I said, they're mostly they're not focused on strength. They're more focused on skill. It resembles like a collection of tribal warrior bands with no national structure. So they don't have a uniform. They can wear whatever they want. It's not like they represent a certain government or anything like that. And that group elects a leader of the group to command them. The Asari huntress is like your Asari ninja. They're devoted for like 20 to 30 years studying the martial arts, and they become freaking ninjas. And they're usually in the maiden stage, so they're pretty young, and their education from then on is dedicated to perfecting their skill in what they're doing. This is when they retire, when they stop their education. They possess an alarming proficiency for killing. Huntresses, they fight individually or they fight in pairs. One-on-one, a huntress is practically unbeatable. They pretty much possess tactical insight, a hunter's eye, and a dancer's grace, and a cheerful readiness. And of course, they've got their strong biotics. Asari huntresses were among one of the first specters, just because of how, because of their skill. They did a lot. They played a key role in the Krogan rebellions. Now let me talk a little bit about the Justicar. Justicars are really interesting to me. I really love Samara in Mass Effect 2. I've said that Arya is my favorite Asari, and she is, and Samara is my second favorite. I love everything about her. I love how she looks like. She's my favorite Asari, how she looks like. She just looks so different. She looks so interesting. So, like, you just gotta respect her. She's just so plain. Like, she has no feelings. It looks like, and they pretty much have to be like that. Justicars. I mean, Samara says she prefers not to know anything about the person that she's about to kill. As long as she knows that they're doing something bad, she tries not to find anything else about them, because then she starts caring. So, this is pretty much what the Justicars have to do. This is what they have to live with. There is no gray for a Justicar. It's all good or bad, and they have to stop the bad and defend the good. What a Justicar basically has to do is they have to leave their family, give up all material things, all possessions, except for their weapons and their armor. And they swear their whole life to the code. And the code is what the Justicars live by. And it's unwavering. You can't misinterpret the code or anything. It's the way that it's literal. The way that it's stated, that's how it's supposed to be executed. The code is composed of more than 5,000 sutras. A sutra is like a rule. There's more than 5,000 of them. And the Justicar has to know all of them by heart. There are very few Asari Justicars, just because the training is very hard. A lot of Asaris actually die during the training. And also because of the type of life that they live. They have to give up everything. And they have to get in this unconventional way of thinking that they just can't overthink things. They have to act. So they have to be constantly ready to protect or to destroy without letting their feelings get in the way, which is very hard to do. So I think that's pretty much why Samara is kind of detached from everything, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't be able to do her job. I mean, she has to kill her own daughter. You could tell that it really hurts her, but she can't let it go. She can't let Morinth go because she's doing bad things. So she's like, if I don't kill her, I'm breaking the code. Samara says, if I follow the code, I am just. If I do not, I am unjust. So it's a very black and white form of thinking. She says that it's similar to like the medieval knights, like during like the Crusades, or also like similar to samurais. So because of everything that they do, because of everything that the Justicars do to keep justice within a society, within the galaxy, and also because of the personal sacrifices that they have to do, the Asari really respect the Justicars. They look up to them. They're highly revered in the Asari culture, because it's so hard to do what they do. Like it showed in Mass Effect 2, the authorities, the cop, that Asari cop in Ilium, she had to detain Samara. She didn't really want to, not only because she was kind of scared of her, but she was like, I have to detain her. And Samara, in the code, it says that the authorities could detain her for a day. So she's like, okay, you can detain me for a day, but then afterwards, I'm gonna have to kill you if you don't let me go. So now let's talk about the Ardak Yakshi. Ardak Yakshi means demon of the night winds in an old Asari dialect. This is like I said before, this is a rare genetic condition in Asaris. It affects their nervous system, and it doesn't harm them, the Asari. It doesn't harm them physically. But during mating, when they're mating with someone, the Ardak Yakshi's nervous system completely overpowers their partners. It causes their partner hemorrhaging in the brain and even death. After they mate, and this happens to their partner, it's almost like they take that consciousness. Because they melded with that person. It's almost like they took their consciousness away from them, and now they have it. Because the Ardak Yakshi is stronger after they mate. And they're even smarter. And we find out in Mass Effect 2 that there's currently 3 Ardak Yakshis. There's Morinth, Falir, and Rila. I don't know if I said that right, but they're all Samara's daughters. Falir and Rila, they chose a life of seclusion, so kind of like in a monastery. And Morinth is the only one that didn't. She's the one that actually uses his power because she became addicted to it, and she was the rebellious one. Because they do become addicted to it. Once they do it once, they become addicted to it because it's they get more powerful, they get stronger, and it's unknown how much they take from that person, their partner. In Mass Effect 2, we kind of get an idea because Morinth is pretty much as strong as Samara is, and they're 600 years apart. So Morinth has become so strong because of how many victims she's taken. Morinth says something in Mass Effect 2. She says that the Ardak Yakshi is the genetic destiny for the Asari. But that's kind of impossible because Ardak Yakshi are sterile. They can't have offspring. So this could be a reason why a lot of Asari don't urge other Asari to mate within their own species, because Ardak Yakshis are purebloods. They're all purebloods. So they kind of, it's almost like they don't want to risk it. Not all purebloods are Ardak Yakshis, obviously, because Samara was a pureblood and she's not an Ardak Yakshi. Liara is a pureblood and she's not an Ardak Yakshi. So it's a rare genetic condition. So that's pretty much it for the Asari. I hope you guys found that interesting. I found it interesting. There's so much. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to Liara. In Mass Effect 3, there's a lot of ideas going around out there. There's a lot of theories about Liara. People believe that Liara is going to become a Justicar in Mass Effect 3, that she's already a Justicar, just because on one of the pictures she has the similar things that Samara has up here. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, and I hope we see different types of Asari this time around, and we probably will, because we're going to be going to Thessia. Because pretty much the main Asari characters so far have been purebloods. And it'd be nice to see like another Asari party member, maybe a Huntress. That'd be awesome. Next week's Mass Effect Talks is most likely going to be on the humans. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later.